The orbital defense grid lit up like a Christmas tree as the alien vessel pierced Earth's atmosphere. It was unlike anything humanity had seen before, sleek, crystalline, pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that seemed almost alive. Every military installation on the planet went to high alert. But the ship wasn't attacking. It was searching. Marcus Chen stood in his small apartment in New Seattle, staring at the news broadcast with a sinking feeling in his gut. He recognized those ship signatures, the elegant curves, the way the hull refracted light into impossible colors. Valorian design. After 5 years, he'd hoped they'd forgotten about him. He'd been wrong. The ship landed not at any military base or government facility, but in the middle of Central Park, scattering tourists and causing a citywide panic. When the hatch opened, a single figure emerged, and the world held its breath. Princess Isabella of House Veltara stepped onto Earth soil with the grace of someone who'd crossed half the galaxy for this moment. Her skin shimmered with an opalescent quality, shifting between shades of lavender and silver. Her eyes, those striking violet eyes that Marcus still saw in his dreams, scanned the gathered crowd with an intensity that made hardened soldiers step back. "I seek Marcus Chen," she announced, her voice carrying an otherworldly resonance that translated perfectly into every language simultaneously. "The human who saved my life and then vanished like a coward." The words hit harder than any weapon. Marcus watched from his screen as his face appeared on every news channel. His service photo from the Frontier Corps, young and idealistic, stared back at him. The media had already dug up his history: decorated pilot, first contact specialist, and apparently the man who'd abandoned an alien princess. He could run. He'd gotten good at running. But something in Isabella's eyes, even through the screen, told him she'd search every corner of this planet until she found him. The coffee shop where they finally met was Marcus's choice. Neutral ground, public enough to feel safe, quiet enough to talk. Isabella arrived without fanfare, having somehow evaded her royal guard and the entire Earth Defense Force. She wore human clothes now, though they couldn't quite hide her alien grace. "You came," she said, sliding into the booth across from him. "You cross 47 light years," Marcus replied, not meeting her gaze. Seemed rude not to. "Why?" The single word carried years of pain. "We were friends, Marcus. More than friends. You taught me about human courage, human humor, human honor. And then you left Valoria without even saying goodbye." Marcus's hands tightened around his coffee cup. "Your father made it clear. A human wasn't suitable company for the heir to the Valorian throne. My father was wrong. I told him that. And started a diplomatic incident. Isabella, your marriage was already arranged. I was just a curiosity. An alien novelty." Her hand slammed on the table, causing every customer to jump. The coffee cups rattled. "Don't you dare diminish what we had. I refuse the arranged marriage. I spent 3 years studying human culture, human languages, human everything, because I wanted to understand you better. I abdicated my position as first heir just to come here." Marcus's head snapped up. "You what?" "My younger sister will be a fine empress." Isabella's voice softened. "But I would be a terrible one, because all I could think about was the human who taught me that the universe was bigger than duty and tradition. The human who looked at me and saw Isabella, not Princess Isabella of House Veltara." "You gave up everything?" Marcus whispered. "No. I almost lost everything when you left." She reached across the table, her hand hovering over his. "I came to Earth to ask you one question, and I deserve an honest answer. Did I imagine what we had? Were you just being kind to an alien who didn't understand human customs?" Marcus looked at her, really looked at her. The same Isabella who'd laughed at his terrible jokes, who'd stayed up with him watching Earth's moon rise over the Valorian crystal seas. who'd held his hand when he'd been injured in that shuttle accident and refused to leave his side. "I left because I loved you," he said quietly, "and because I thought loving you would only hurt you in the end. Your people live for 300 years. Humans barely make it to 100. Your world is light years away. How could that ever work?" "You're right," Isabella said, and Marcus felt his heart crack. "Valorians live much longer than humans, which means I have centuries to figure out human culture, human technology, human everything. And your scientists have been making breakthroughs in longevity treatments since formal contact. But none of that matters if you don't want this." She stood up, preparing to leave. "I won't force you, Marcus. I came all this way to give you a choice. I just wish you'd been brave enough to give me one 5 years ago." Marcus caught her hand. "Wait." She turned, and he saw the tears in her violet eyes, the first time he'd ever seen a Valorian cry. "I was a coward," he admitted. "I ran because I was scared. Scared of not being enough, scared of the distance, scared of loving someone so much that losing them would destroy me." He stood, still holding her hand. "But you crossed 47 light years. The least I can do is be brave enough to try." Isabella's smile could have powered a star. "Humans," she said, her voice warm with affection, "you explore the cosmos, you fight impossible odds, you achieve miracles daily, but you're absolute fools about matters of the heart." "Yeah," Marcus laughed, pulling her close. "We really are." Outside, the Valorian ship hummed softly, its mission complete. And in a small coffee shop in New Seattle, a human and an alien princess began writing a new story, one that would remind the galaxy why humanity's greatest strength was never in their weapons or their technology, but in their stubborn, foolish, impossible capacity to love.